Welcome back to the aerodrome. Today I will be building Eduard's MiG-15 in Polish colors. This kit comes from the Royal Class Edition, featuring a detailed photo-etch cockpit. Let's get building. After priming the cockpit in Mr. Surfacer 1000, I airbrushed the interior in RLM 65, a light blue color. The MiG-15 was built under license in Poland, but I was unable to find contemporary photos to determine cockpit color, so I went with a light blue to match the supplied PE parts. The detail provided by the PE parts is excellent, especially for such a small scale. The cockpit was my favorite part of the build, and I was very pleased with the final result. I installed the resin seat before adding the sidewalls. If you wanted to wait until after construction and painting to place the seat in the cockpit, it is possible, although it is easier to install it first. With the cockpit finished, it's time to move on to the main build. Seating the cockpit is vital to getting a good fuselage fit, and despite good locating tabs, placing the cockpit correctly is not easy. I built this same model as a weekend edition and had to scrap the build because the cockpit prevented the fuselage from joining. Joining the fuselage took some time and effort. It turned out better than the weekend edition, but I still had to use considerable force in some places and was left with a fair amount of seam work. The seam on the bottom opened up a little near the end of the build during weathering, which was frustrating. The wings were straightforward. In the kit, you have 3 options for external drop tanks. I used the resin ones, which do not require pre-drilling holes in the wings. I primed the model in Ammo MiG's one-shot flat black primer to set up a metallic finish. For the bare metal surface, I used Vallejo Aluminum from their airbrush line. I found this color to be a struggle to work with. The paint comes pre-thinned, which I prefer, but it was almost too thin. I got several runs in the paint that had to be sanded and refinished. I don't think the problem with the paint was from my airbrush, as I was using low air pressure. I added a few final details before gloss coating the model in preparation for panel lining and decal work. Unfortunately, the clear coat reacted with the paint, which marred an otherwise good finish, but by the end, I was able to turn the model into a weathered-looking aircraft. I used Tamiya's black panel liner, which I cleaned up with white spirits. The Polish scheme is simple and only has a few decals. I really like the Polish insignia, and I plan on doing more Polish builds in the future. After the decals were completed, I installed the gun sight and landing gears, gave the aircraft a final clear coat before adding the canopies to finish the build. Despite some difficulties, I really enjoyed the final result, particularly the detailed cockpit. Thanks for watching the Aerodrome's build video of this Eduard MiG-15. Enjoy the final pictures and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for future builds.